Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us on this pre-holiday Friday. Hopefully, everybody's in a good mood and enjoying or looking forward to enjoying some time with family and friends over the weekend and celebrating the uh, the sacrifice of all of those who fell on to protect our freedom. So, looking forward to a great webinar with Dave. We're going to talk about Social Security claiming. As you all are aware, I'm just looking at the list. I know many of you have joined this webinar more than once. We talk about Social Security claiming, kind of top 4 or 5 things that you need to know that can help you talking with your clients. We also go over a little bit regarding some ways that you can use that expertise to grow your business and to help your clients. So should be a good webinar today. Our guest speaker, as always, for this webinar is Dave Pimper. Dave is the president of Lazarus Coaching, regular producer in his own right in both securities and the insurance fields, prolific, and has been in the business since the early 80s. Is credited with over 560 now public seminars in front of consumers, and really has a long and storied radio past as well, dating back as long as probably 25, 30 years. So really good stuff to have Dave joining with us today. I'm going to go over a few things here really quickly. My name is Steve Murray, and I'll go over some of the benefits of doing business with IAMS. A couple polls will pop up during the course of the webinar. Answer those as quickly as you can. No's are fine. We know that some things work for you and some things don't, but appreciate your quick response, and then we just get moving along. So appreciate that. And if you have a question, type it in. We'll get that asked and answered as soon as possible. And again, thank you for joining us today. Let's talk about the new producer bonus program. And I know this is important to some of you because I'm looking at our list, and I know some are in the midst of waiting for their new producer bonus right now. So really a good thing to take advantage of. You can see, I don't need to go through each of these levels with you. You can see what's available. There's some incentives that are cash, some that are travel, and most of them are built around helping you to grow your business. And with that said, I'll also add to that if you have something that you want to try or something that you're doing now that you would rather have us donate towards as part of the new producer bonus program, we are more than willing to do that. Our primary concern is that we get you a program that will work to help you accomplish what you want to accomplish and grow your business. We know when that happens that everybody wins. So if we can help you with something you're doing right now, great. If not, take advantage of one of those new producer builders in your first 180 days of being contracted with IAMS. A couple of other things that keep your business growing is RPM. I get a lot of questions about RPM, and a lot of them come from folks that maybe aren't familiar with IAMS. So for those of you that may not be aware of the new producer or the referred producer program, pretty simple. You refer someone, they do business with us, we pay you a bonus. And we pay you the bonus on all the business they do as long as they're with us. And literally, I have to tell you that we've sent out checks to some of your fellow producers, and I get a call like, well, what's this for again? And it really is, it's an appreciation, but it's an ongoing appreciation for referring colleagues to IAMS. If you think someone can benefit from what we do in terms of training or service, or you like what we do incentive wise or whatever, and you think that a colleague might benefit from that, we appreciate that referral, and we're going to pay you an ongoing bonus. That bonus does not come out of their pocket at all. Comes really out of our marketing budget. So I'd much rather I'd rather send you guys checks than send checks to magazines and email providers and Google this and Google that. Believe me, I know that when I'm sending you guys and gals a check, the money is well spent. So when I'm doing advertising, I think like 90% of it's wasted. So I would much rather send you all the check. If you know somebody that you want to refer to us, give your sales director, myself, a call, and we'll start the process of getting them appointed. Marketing reimbursement, again, very simple program. You do business with IAMS, the money goes into your marketing reimbursement account. You do marketing, we match your spend dollar for dollar. So you think of it as basically doubling the value of your marketing. We love to send those checks out as well. Oddly, we actually send out more money via RPM than marketing reimbursement. We have a couple of more academies. I think maybe many as 3 potentially more academies coming up this year. So I'm going to shoot a poll up here. Before I do, I want to give you a second to kind of take in what we do at the 2-day training. So I'm not going to read those to you, but I'll give you a second to kind of roll through them. What I will tell you is that we're going to pay for your travel. We're going to pay for your room and meals while you're there. Your expense is really the expense away from your office, and we know that's no small thing. So we appreciate you taking time out of your office to come in. This is a very sought after academy, very sought after event within the industry because of the nature of it. We have top producers, we have lead and marketing vendors that join us, we have top level executives from a couple of carriers and we have, of course, the IAMS team, and they're all really there over a 3-day time frame to help you grow your business. Does some of that include some, product stuff? I mean, we do include some product stuff in there, but most of it is sales and marketing and, trying to find niches and ways that we can help you to find something that fits you to grow your business, whether it's seminars, radio, whether we're doing lead systems. We got some shared cost lead systems that we've got some commission split lead systems. We appeal to the federal market, state market, teacher market, all kinds of ways we get you in front of people. But we know that we talk about it over the phone and via webinar, but there's nothing like an academy to go over some of that news. Shoot, I forgot to put the poll up. Let me do that really quick. I'm going to put this up really quick, and I would ask it the answer really quick so we can get moving along. So I do have a question. The academies are done at various locations. So we're likely to do one here in Omaha, probably mid to late fall, like the late September timeframe. We're probably going to do one in Des Moines. We'll do that one in conjunction with one of our carrier partners, and that's likely late October. And then after that, it kind of remains to be seen. We might do another regional event. So those are the locations there. Regardless of where you are and where the location is, we're going to pay for your travel. See if there's any other questions here. I apologize. I got kind of sidetracked talking about the academy. Yes, Dave. Question is Dave one of the speakers? Yes, Dave is. Dave will come, and when he speaks, he'll speak on Social Security claiming a little bit, but mostly he'll talk about the opportunity to do Social Security educational seminars that we have available. And that's $2,750 for 35 registrants with all the training, all the materials, everything that you need to do a Social Security seminar. Probably the best deal, really. In the industry right now in terms of getting you everything you need to get Social Security claiming. So we'll talk about that. He'll talk about Retirement Boss Radio. At some point here, I'll chat you the link to Retirement Boss Radio. You can hear about that, but he talks about that as well. Let's see, no other questions. So let me get over to the poll. I am going to close that out. I want to get moving along, and I know you all do too. We had a number of you did not vote, which is fine. I'm going to assume those are no's unless you call here at 800-255-5055 and let me know otherwise. Let's close that out. All right. E-apps, we have a single sign-on for Firelight. Most insurance companies use Firelight for their e-apps. The reason this is becoming, obviously during the pandemic days when we were kind of limited seeing the clients, it was definitely nice to have the ability to do an e-app. We have, for instance, we're going to be introducing a new carrier to the marketplace that is going to be a large player in the market over the next, 1, 2, 3, 5 years, and big money backing it. They've got great products coming to the marketplace. They're smart guys that know, they need to give a good consumer value and a good agent value, but they are going to offer their products strictly as e-app. And we're going to see that, I would say, over the next 3 to 5 years. It may be that you'll have to submit on an e-app basis. Certainly, I think that will be economically encouraged for you to submit via e-app. So for those of you, most of our apps now actually do come in e-app. For those of you out there that aren't using e-app yet, I'd encourage you to look into our single sign-on. You can get all the application, all the companies that do apps via Firelight that we offer, you can access via our website. So you don't have to go from website to website, but you do have to register. It is about a 2-minute process to register on our. So if you go to our website, go to eApp Solutions and go down to Firelight, register for Firelight, or just call your sales director and say, hey, walk me through it. He'll be glad to do that. But it's the future for sure. And if we can help you, get through the process and kind of get used to it now. I think that's good for everybody. We've got a great advertising team. Call your sales director and ask what they can do to help you grow your business, your image in your local area. Take advantage of that. They've got a lot of great stuff that they can just really, it's label it and go for you that you can use in your marketing. So if you're not already taking advantage of what they do, I hope you will. Want to make sure that you're all aware of the Retirement Analyzer. The Retirement Analyzer is a tool that we've used for about the last 15, 16 years now. I got a good relationship with Thomas Gold. They do a great job for us and our people. We make that available to our producers at our expense. For those of you that maybe you're thinking about joining the IAMS team and you want to try it out, we can let you take a peek at it, and we'll get you out the link. Maybe run one on yourself, run one on one of your top clients. You have the information on the file just to see what it looks like. I think you'll be impressed. We have probably, I can think of about 15, 18 producers that we work with right now that won't even propose a case now without Retirement Analyzer. Many guys and gals use it for their A, B, and C clients. Great if you're doing seminars and you want to offer a free retirement analysis. The Retirement Analyzer is probably the best tool out there for that. So give Marcus a call if you want to have a look at it. It's 800-255-5055. Just ask for Marcus or email Marcus at iamsinc.com. I'll text that to you here shortly as well, or chat it over to you. So as you all know, we had hoped to be cruising Italy in up and down the Italian peninsula in September, October, and stopping in Montenegro and a couple other places. But unfortunately, the cruise company made some pretty huge changes in the itinerary. Some of it was because of the war in Ukraine. Some of it was COVID-based limitations there. And so it was actually port limitations. We were supposed to stop in Venice, and Venice has put some fairly serious limitations now on their porting there. So they changed everything so much that we decided we needed to make a change and move to a domestic location. So we're going to go to the Greenbrier. We did take the qualification down for that, and we added multiple levels of qualifications. You can go to Washington, or you can spend an extra day, or you can be on the concierge level. And so hopefully you're all taking advantage of that. If you're unaware of what's going on there, give your sales director a call. If you've got points towards it, you should be receiving communications at least once a month or so. If you're on the cusp of qualifying and you need some more information, give us a call. We'd love to have you join us out there. It's going to be a great trip or trips between DC and the Greenbrier, and we'd love to take you and your guest and pamper you and thank you for your business. So if you need some help, have some questions there, give us a call. We're going to talk now about Social Security maximization. As I said at the outset, I know a few of you joined us late here. Dave Pemper has really become quite an expert in Social Security maximization over the past 10 or 11 years. I very rarely, if I have a question on Social Security and I ask Dave, I don't know that he's not ever known the answer now right off the top of his head. So with that said, he got plenty of places of reference that he can go to get information as he needs it. He's become quite a expert on the Social Security seminars and how to make those work. And he's put a nice package together to do Facebook marketing and get your rooms filled up or get registrants for your seminars at the rate of $27.50 for 35 registrants. I would challenge you to find a better opportunity in the industry right now than that to get in front of people on seminars. And he's going to talk today about the top 4 or 5 things that you need to know when you're working with clients. It will solve about 75% of your Social Security maximization problems, and then he'll give you an opportunity to get where you're, like him, an expert in that. So I'm going to turn it over to the coach. Dave, are you with me today?
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us. I'm guessing you're probably wishing you were golfing about now on the beautiful day that we're having here at Omaha. So I do appreciate you joining us for a Friday afternoon.
How can you read my mind? How does that work?
Well, I might be reading mine and projecting.
I hear you.
Yeah. I know the folks aboard this are anxious to learn more about Social Security claiming, so I'm going to turn the floor over to you. I did a pretty good introduction of you early on where we talked about your experience, how you got to be such an expert in the Social Security field. So I think we're ready to go.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, I'm Dave Pemper, producer. So been producing in the financial security arena and financial services arena for 41 years. long time, and 11 of those years, so about a quarter of the years, I've really understood Social Security. So for the first 3 quarters of my career, I did not, but I just had so many questions coming my way that I thought I should learn it, and I really enjoy Social Security. It's a very intriguing subject, probably the one of the biggest cash flows for really almost anyone who retires, unless you're just uber wealthy, which I don't work with many uber wealthy people. But Social Security is very, very important. So, are we going to go in and keep the slides going here, Steve? Are you going to give them to me, or how are we going to do that?
I'm going to actually give them to you here in just a second.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Yeah. So, if there's any questions, everybody, we got a big crowd with this on a Friday. It's a good-sized crowd. So, thank you very much for attending. This is going to take 30 minutes. I will be done right at quarter till, and then we'll take some questions that people have typed in. So if you've got a specific question, go ahead and type that in. We'll also put a poll up at the end, like, if you'd like to go in and talk with me and talk about maybe how Social Security could help your business from a production standpoint. Then you can mark yes, and we'll set that appointment up. It's a 15, 20-minute appointment. So I do everything pretty quick. Everybody's pretty busy, just a lot of appointments, and it's fun to be in this business right now. The fixed index, fixed life, the security of business is primary importance today. I had a guy come in, didn't have a lot of money to invest, but had 50, 60,000. He's a worker, labor, and his account is down 12% for the year, and he just doesn't want it to go down. And do you blame him? Do you blame people? So hopefully this could be a good time of marketing and a good time of production for yourself for the next couple of years when the economy is taking a hard dip. Let's just go in and talk about Social Security. I know Steve is working on the slides to get that first one up, and then we can kind of follow along. But let's do this. Let's go in and talk about Social Security. Social Security is a pretty unique subject in that there's over 2,700 rules. 2,700 rules when it comes to Social Security claiming. I mean, who in the world knows 2,700 rules? I mean, I don't. I know quite a bit about Social Security, but do I know 2,700 rules? Well, heck no, I don't. And neither does anybody else. Get a load of this. I had a client call Social Security Administration 2 days ago because they wanted to suspend their benefit and their full retirement age. They said they couldn't do it. I called them back and I said, you absolutely can do it. I said, you get me on the phone if I tell you no again. So she calls again. Again, she says they can't do this. I go in and she calls me on the phone and I said, my name is Dave Pemper. I want to elevate this to a manager, which they did. It goes to a manager. And what you can do is once you start Social Security under full retirement age, you can't stop it until you are full retirement age. Then you can suspend it. You can suspend it. And the manager said you couldn't. So then I cited him. And I went up to the program operational manual system, the same system. It's open to the public if you know how to get in it. Same system that they use. I quoted it. I said, you need to go this and just read the first paragraph. He reads it and he said, well, he said, that's a new one on me. That's the Social Security Administration. It went to the manager. I will tell you right now, there's a big influx of bad information out there when it comes to Social Security claiming. There's a gal named Sarah O'Brien with CNBC, and she's a reporter. It titles, Most Retirees Get Little Advisor Help on Social Security. And then it says a majority of older Americans get no professional advice about a key part of retirement planning, Social Security, even if they work with the financial planner. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Even if they work with a financial planner. So what happens is, oh gosh darn. What happens is, I'm trying to get back in this, you guys, I'm sorry. What happens is that Social Security, even if you go in, Steve, are we up and running yet?
You know, Dave, for some reason, it is stuck on. I just noticed it's stuck on the poll, and it won't let me take that poll down. So,
okay. Can't you just talk nasty to it? and like you do to me sometime, and I just succumb and say yes, sir, yes, sir. Yeah. Okay. So
I'm going to put it up
anyway,
and take it down a couple times. The
okay,
screen
that's
might look
fine.
a little funky here for a
Okay,
second.
I'll keep talking. I'll keep talking. So
Okay.
yeah. So I'm sorry about the tech glitch, but just listen because I think this is important. So most people just don't get a good feel of Social Security, and what happens? Only 1 in 20 advisors do. So let's take this test. This listen. You can't see it, but take this test. So it says to maximize your monthly Social Security checks. At what age must you claim the benefit? So to maximize your monthly Social Security check, at what age must you claim the benefit? If you said full retirement age, you're wrong. That's the full benefit. To maximize it, it's age 70, and that's for an individual. There you, beautiful. There you go. Good.
Yeah.
Okay, we're wonderful. Yeah. So it is age 70. Steve, I knew you could do it. You had to just put your head to it. You probably have the whole IT department behind you right now. But good job.
I
Yeah.
had one of them.
Okay. So what's the earliest age you can receive survivor's benefits if you're not disabled? What's the earliest you can receive survivor's benefits? Please take this test with me. Okay, what's the answer? If your answer was 60, you're right. It's not 62, but it's 60. Okay. Third question: does your spouse need? Oh, I'll take that away. Does your spouse need to receive benefits for you to qualify for spousal benefits? And I had the answer down already. It is yes. So that was a give me. Yeah, your spouse has to claim for you to take spousal benefits. And then number 4 is, can divorced spouses receive spousal benefits? Can divorced spouses receive spousal benefits? Yay or nay? It is yay. And that's if 4 stipulations are met. So, of the stipulations, if you can get 2 of the 4 correct, I'm going to give this answer to you. What are 2 of the 4 stipulations? Well, the first one is marriage had to last at least 10 years or longer. Second one is you, not your ex, but you are currently unmarried. Third is your ex has to be at least 62 and the divorce be 2 years ago or longer. If you got 2 of the 4, I'm going to give that question to you. Now, but all 4 of them have, in real life, you have to have all 4 come up, roses for yourself to use that. Why is that important to use your ex as if you're still married to him? Because married couples have many more options with Social Security claiming than singles. All right. And here's number 5. Are you eligible for survivor's benefits if you're divorced? Are you eligible for survivor's benefits if you're divorced? Yay or nay? Yeah, you can. And if those stipulations are met, which of course you know what they are because I just went through them. Okay. How'd you do on that test? The test, if you got 1, 2, or 3, you need more. You need more education, and that's one of the things we do. I really do have a passion for Social Security claiming. It's a super interesting subject to me. Learning stuff. I mean, I know the majority of the big answers, but there's so many little quirky things that happen with Social Security claiming. Being able to talk with clients is impressive to them. And just remember, seminar marketing, $2,750. IAMS pays me to coach you up. You do not pay for those 3 coaching sessions. Retirement Boss Radio, again, we coach you up. IAMS pays for that. You don't have to pay anything, or just a la carte, $800, and there's 4 sessions to really understand Social Security claiming. 3 different ways to learn Social Security to benefit your production. There's not a better offer of that in the FMO industry or broker dealer industry, of really getting. And you can, after that, you can use me as much as what I always say: use me, don't abuse me. But people don't. I mean, they certainly, if they have questions, they can certainly use me. This says doing this one thing with your Social Security could mean losing $100,000 in retirement. It's from Jana Heron from USA Today. She says, How much does claiming Social Security at the wrong time cost you? Get a load of this. Retirees will lose an average of $111,000 in income per year. Why? That's over their household. Why? Because they took Social Security benefits at the wrong time. Isn't that something? They take at the wrong time. Only 4% of all retirees took Social Security at the financially optimal age. And it isn't just wait to 70. There's lots of times where taking earlier actually is more money in your pocket. Okay? Started in 1935 by Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Remember when it started? The average age was 62 years of age of a human being, and they started at 65. Now the average age is probably 75 to 80 at least. My mom's 98. Social Security does not like her. She's living off my dad's survivor benefit. Yeah. The cost of living started in 75 and taxation in 83. Bipartisan Budget Act of 215 was the last major reform. How important is Social Security? It's darn important. 59% of all retirees count their Social Security benefit as the major source of income. Isn't that over 401ks, over pensions? If you have a question, certainly type it in. We'll be happy more than answer that for you here when we're done. There's 3 ages and dates that are important to Social Security claiming. The first age is the earliest you can take it, age 62. It's going to be anywhere, depending on your full retirement age, anywhere between a 25 and 30% discount in your Social Security. Your full retirement age is somewhere between 66 and 67. You want to start by 70, or you just lose your benefit. That's the longest you can let it wait to grow. Those are the 3 ages or dates that are important to Social Security. Can Social Security have a huge value? Darn right it can. If you claim at your right time. Not the right time, not a right time, but claiming at your right time. That's so, so important. Trust fund, 2.8 trillion, like ton of money, not B's, but it was an increase of 7 billion in 2020. 2021 has not come out yet. Should any month now. Probably will be, with all the people retiring and folks retiring and pandemic retiring. Probably will have a deficit. We need to do something. We need to tax or increase the age benefit to firm up the trust fund. And I'm sure that'll happen here in the next 2-3 years. Social Security is a political hot potato, so nobody really wants to touch it. Is it a pay-as-you-go system? Yeah, by payroll taxes. 6.2% you pay, the 6.2% that the employer pays. Yeah, so that's what funds the majority of Social Security. Does the government borrow against it? Yeah, they borrow against those bonds. In fact, they'll sell those bonds out and replace them with IOUs. But that's no different than the currency in your pocket. Yeah, what covers the dollar bill? It's not silver or gold. No, it's an IOU. It's not a Ponzi scheme. Absolutely not. So you need 40 quarters of coverage. Each one of those quarters, you have to make $1,510 or more in a quarter. If you do, you get a quarter of coverage. You need 40 of those over your working career. So at what age are you going to start? The earlier you start, the less your benefit is. The longer you wait, the more it is, up to the age of 70. You take your highest 35 inflation adjusted years. And remember, inflation was high. For last year, paid out this year on 1/1 of 2022, inflation is 5.9%. And I expect it will be even higher when it comes at the end of September to look year over year for the next one. Full retirement age, when you get your full benefit, if you're born from 1943 to 1954, your full benefit is age 66. I was born in 55, 66 years and 2 months. How about 56, 4 months, 57, 6 months? Yeah. If you're born 1960 or later, the oldest you can be during full retirement age is 67. There's full retirement doesn't go any later than that. A baby born today, full retirement age, 67. If you take early, it's discounted. In fact, depending on when your full retirement age is, but it's going to be discounted anywhere at age 62 from 25 to 30% discount. Pretty big discount. How about once you reach full retirement age and go past that? Yeah, what happens is if if you wait till full retirement age 1 year, your benefit grows 8% guaranteed. And remember, cost of living is in everything, every single benefit. So, give you an idea, I have a pretty high benefit, been a pretty good wage earner my entire life. So I have around a $3,000 benefit at my primary insurance amount, around 3,000. Now, what happens is if you take the 8% that I just grew in the last year, which it is, I went from 66.2 to 67.2. My birthday's in April, May, June. So on June the 4th, it'll be a full 1 year since I've delayed my Social Security. That Social Security grows a guaranteed 8%. Plus, you throw 5.9% on top of it. That's 13.9%. My benefit, give or take, is around 3,000. I just grew my benefit $417. 417 bucks. And this next year, I think it's going to grow 450. I'm going to almost make $900 more in 2 years because I let my benefit grow after full retirement age. What a deal! Like a mini pension every single year. All right, so let's go in with spousal benefit. Dave's PIA, that's the primary insurance amount. That's what it is at full retirement age. Is 2,400. Amy's PIA primary insurance amount is 1,000. Dave take his, Amy takes hers. The higher one gets the 2,400. The lower one has an option. Always has an option. They can take all of theirs or half of their husbands or wives, gender neutral, whichever is higher. Well, what's higher? Yeah, of course. Half of Dave's is higher, $200 higher. And the way Social Security looks at it is there's $1,000 benefit for Amy, and then Dave has to claim. Then she gets a $200 top up on a spousal benefit. All right. That has to be that benefit does not have to be asked for. It happens automatically. How about divorced spouse benefit? Divorced spouse benefit. Remember the four things that have to happen. You're currently unmarried. Marriage lasted 10 years or longer. X is at least 62. Marriage was 2 years ago or longer. All those stars and moons add up. Use your spouse just as if you're still married to them. Why is that important? Many, many more options. In fact, spousal couples have 567 options, which is pretty wild. Survivor benefit. My wife always says no one gets out of here alive, and that's true. Dave's benefit is $2,000. Amy's benefit is $1,200. Who normally dies first? The guy does. Dave does. He dies. Amy can keep her benefit. Amy can drop her benefit, jump up to Dave's. Amy cannot take both benefits at the same time. What she should do is she should absolutely drop hers and go up to Dave's. It's an extra $800 coming into the household. There's also, when you hear file and suspend is done away with, in 6 months back in the Bipartisan Budget Act of 2015, implemented in 2016, but there is still file and suspend with survivor benefits. So you can suspend your benefit and let the widowers grow. You can go ahead and suspend the widow's benefit and let yours grow. But that's pretty cool. And turn it on later at no discount. So pretty neat. That has to be asked for survivors benefits. Any questions? Certainly type them in. Be more than happy to answer those for you. Coordinating spousal benefits called restricted application. Doesn't happen very much anymore. Well, the interesting thing on this is you got to be born before January 2nd of 1954. January 2nd of 1954. Got to be 68 years and 5 months old or older. It can't be older than 70 because remember, Social Security is done at 70. So here's how this works. For example, Dave was born before January 2nd of 54. Amy has $1,000 benefit. She turns hers on, which has to happen here. Dave wants to keep his growing until, say, 70 or 69, but later. he does a restricted application, and that is if he's born before January 2nd of 54, just him, not her, but him, and under the age of 70, and that's really about 19 months. But he can go in and take half of the full spousal benefit. So of the other spouse. So that's always half is what the spousal benefit is. So if the benefit was 1,000, half of that's 500 times 12 is 6,000. That's $6,000 a year. And they could do that for about 19 months, which is going to be about $10,000 of just free money coming to them. It's really cool when that adds up. All right. Any questions at all? Social Security Administration, what they can and can't do, they can't give you advice. How about them apples? They cannot give you advice. I'll tell you right now, I asked a lawyer, CPA, my banker, before I got in this business 12 years ago, 11 years ago. I said, where do you go if you need advice on Social Security? Everyone said Social Security Administration. They can't give advice. In fact, what's very, very interesting, when I went up on finally found out that there's something called the POMS program, securities, the POMS manual, Programs Operational Manual System, and it's public. You can go into it. I just went into it yesterday, looking up, suspended benefits. But look at D there. Provide enough information so that claimants can make informed choices, but do not give advice. Remember, Social Security is not a standalone income stream. I always say it's the worst water cooler talk there is. Hey, Dave, I took it 62. You should too. Hey, Dave, I took Social Security at 70. You should wait also. It's like saying I love the color violet and you should too. It's just such a unique and such a personalized benefit. Social Security is the most flexible. I believe it is because you can turn it on when you want to. You can claim at your right time, not the right time. And don't forget the survivor benefit. It does affect the break even of how old you need to live if it's a survivor. I use this as a worksheet. Number 3 is where that's the money number. But I find out working wages, part-time and full-time pensions on traditional or pensions on company retirement plans, income-producing assets from 401ks, IRAs, 403bs, etc. RMDs at 72. That's actually going up with Secure Act 2.0 to 73 next year, and then 10 years or 9 more years it phases into 75. And then Social Security. Just when should I start Social Security? Just so much to consider. Just many, many benefits. Remember, 3 ways. There's 3 ways you can go in and get Social Security claiming. 2 are at no charge to you. They're free. I love that word free. IAMS pays me to coach you, not out of your pocket. With Seminar Marketing, $2,750. We've been doing more than this, but we're guaranteeing 35 signups. Retirement Boss Radio, I've got over 10 appointments. Like I got 12 or 13 appointments for the month so far, and I still have one more week in this weekend in May. Normal cost $3,000 to $4,000 all in on an hour show every single week, or just $800 to get coached up on Social Security. 3 different ways. 2 are paid for by the FMO, IAMS, and then 1 is just a la carte. But it gives you different kind of ways to go in and really learn and understand Social Security claiming. There's an old saying. It says procrastination is my sin. It brings me constant sorrow. I really shouldn't practice it. Perhaps I'll stop. Tomorrow never comes. Yeah, if you heard something today, take action. Successful people take action. In my 41 years, I don't think I've ever had anybody come to me and say, boy, Dave, you just can't believe how much money I've made from procrastinating. I got rich from procrastinating. It just doesn't happen. The reason I bring that up is if you see something here that makes sense to you, then Mark, yes, I'd like to talk to Dave. Let's talk about what you're doing. What's the pluses? What's the negatives? I know quite a bit about marketing. I've done over 550 public seminars and radio. I'm about 15 years. I used to have a market report at the end for like 11 years, but I'm talking about radio shows. Yeah, we've got 15 years in it now of radio shows. But if you like more information, absolutely, Mark. Yeah, Steve, I'm going to see if there's any questions here before we kind of button this thing up.
Thanks, Dave. Good stuff. You'd be surprised. I don't know if you can see the questions and answers, but a lot of participants in answering the questions. And actually, I don't know. I know we have some repeaters here, but a lot of people had the right answers. So
Good.
that's good stuff. I think a little bit of a testament to, I think a lot of advisors are more and more realizing the benefit of being able to help their clients with that Social Security knowledge and being able to meet new people via that. Nobody does that better than you. I mentioned at the outset, Retirement Boss Radio, Dave, before you got on, I mentioned that you do a little bit of radio work and that you talk about Social Security on your radio show. Would you say right now that's one of the main reasons that people request an appointment with you from radio is regarding Social Security
Yeah, I would.
questions? Yeah.
Yeah, I would. Social Security, boy, I will tell you right now, it's a hot subject, and you got 10,000 people turning 65, but you have another 10,000 people turning 64, another 10,000 turning 63, 62, 61, 60, 66, 67. I mean, every one of those have rollover monies, especially if you're doing an in-service non-hardship withdrawal, where you're working for the company and they've got it documented that you can roll over money while you're still working there. But over the age of 59 and a half, you have 70 to 80,000 people every day retiring or turning that age, which is just really, really cool. There's just such a huge, vast amount of monies, with those folks, and our goal is to help them that conserve a good part of that, or to help them manage part of that. Yeah, I would say that's a big part of Retirement Boss Radio.
And when we started doing seminars, and here's a little question that arose, and I think the root of it probably is the same issue that you had early on with seminars regarding, had done some Social Security seminars and had good luck getting appointments, but not good luck on the sales side. And I know early on when probably your first two or three seminars, I think that was kind of something you experienced. Can you talk about that a little bit and what you have done to overcome that issue? Because I don't, it's not the first time I've heard it.
Yeah, you know what? Just say that. I was following you, but say what. So, what specifically do you want, Steve? Again?
Well, the question is, or the reference in the question was that he had done Social Security seminars and was able to get appointments. That worked out well, but didn't
Yeah.
result in a lot of sales.
Got it. Yeah, and you know what? That does happen. Even if you're a pretty good salesperson, there's a trick to the transitioning of going from Social Security, which is a product that there is no commission on, of giving advice or running a report, to that commissioned product. And we touch on that during the regular 3 sessions. But Steve, I also have, of course, I'm a coach.
Mhm.
I do charge, but for $600, I would say half of the people that coaches me kind of tag this on there. But I walk through everything I do through the first appointment, the second appointment, and the third appointment. From what I say in the very beginning to the fact finder to the objection and the closing, and I mean it's just a. And I'm a process type of a salesperson, so everything has a process, and this track or sales track or sales process, it's very good. I mean, I've kind of fine tuned it. Is it perfect? Well, if it's perfect, I'd be closing everybody, which I don't do. But do I have a high closing rate? I do. I do have a high closing rate. One of the nice things though is you got to feed that pipeline. As long as you have enough prospects, enough appointments, it seems like everything kind of works out on the back end. If you have a lack of that, then you don't have enough coming out the end of the hose. So you're exactly right. It isn't. There's a transitioning. It's interesting. Kind of interesting going transitioning from Social Security, but we touched some of that on just the regular coaching. But if you want more in depth, then we go into the one-on-one sales process coaching.
Yeah, I guess it's good to note that that's not an unusual problem, and I don't know that having to be able to get it addressed with someone that has experience and experienced the exact same thing that you did on that, I think that could make a lot of difference. If you have interest in speaking with Dave about that, I would check yes on that poll. It if you like doing Social Security seminars, if you felt like you had some good success with the seminars themselves, and the only hiccup was the transitioning from, hey, let me help you with Social Security, to, hey, let me help you with your other retirement questions and income flow, Dave can definitely help with that process, because he encountered it early on. I remember
Yep.
when yeah, so really good stuff. Confusion a little bit, I sense, regarding cost or pricing for training and pricing for the seminars going forward. So I'll give the basics, Dave, then you can pitch in with
Okay,
any
right.
addendums you might have. So the Social Security seminars, the cost to do a seminar and get 35 attendees there is $2,750. If you think of your first seminar with that, besides getting the 35 registrants, you also get on your first seminar, the seminar itself, coaching from Dave, ongoing coaching from Dave regarding Social Security benefits, and coaching regarding the seminar and how he does it and what has been successful, and including probably, the coaching on some of that transitioning would all be included in that. So ongoing, it's $2,750 to get 35 registrants. Think of it as you get the Dave's seminar expertise and assistance in seminars. And it's not just Dave, he's got a team. Lynn and Natalie and Amy all pitch in and help as well. But that is all part of that initial cost of $2,750 for your first seminar, and he's able to help you ongoing with Social Security questions, as well as questions on Social Security seminars in general. So did I miss anything there, Dave?
No, well, there is Social Security software also. I don't know if you mentioned that or
Oh,
not,
I did not.
but
Yeah, I forgot
you
that.
do
Yeah.
get that for that for 3 months, and there's no cost on that. And there's been some improvements to that. It's called Social Security Pro, and it's a very good, simplistic but a very good software, impressive to the clients. You get that free for 3 months. If you want to continue the subscription, you can pay $30 a month. So that does come with it also. And I think one more thing too, Steve, it's easy to say, and then our office just kind of handles that whole back end. I mean,
Hmm.
we virtually, Lynn and my group, our administration, we don't call the people back or send the emails out. You do that, but of always setting it up and proofing the ad and getting it ready and all of that. That's a lot of time you don't have to spend that we do for you, and that's a big thing for a busy producer.
Yeah, absolutely makes a big difference. I mean, you and I have both seen the advertisements, $200 per registrant or $300 per attendee. I mean, some services charge a lot to do just to fill that room. I mean, if $200 per registrant, it can get pretty expensive,
Yeah, you done it
especially if you're
right.
doing one or two a month. So to be able to get registrants at 35 for 27.50, I think that's the best deal going. Dave, there's a question about your radio show. I'm going to pull up your website. So the poll is going to get covered up here, but you're certainly welcome to continue to vote when it comes back. So here's Dave's website for Retirement Boss Radio, and the question was, can I listen to a radio show? This is where you'd go to do that, and I already earlier chatted you the address. It's www.retirementbossradio.com. If you go to that website and then you go down towards the bottom here, there they are. And so you can see Dave has them record, and he puts them up
Hey
in
Steve. Hey
half-hour
Steve.
segments.
I'm
Yes, sir.
sorry. I'm not showing it on my screen. I wonder if
Are you just
anybody
seeing
else.
the poll?
I am. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I hate to take that poll down. Do me a favor if you
Okay.
would. We've got about 4 or 5 people that haven't voted yet. If you would just,
Yeah.
it probably is a no if you haven't voted by now.
Okay.
Certainly just
Yeah.
put a no on there for me. Or if you're thinking about it, or you think you might want to. If you're not sure if you want to chat with Dave, I would go ahead and check yes. Brady will give you a call. He'll set up, and that conversation with Dave could last 5 minutes or it could last 20 minutes, depending on what you want to talk with him about. I would just go ahead and get that set up. And I'm going to go ahead and close that poll out now. Thank you all for voting. I'm going to close that out. And so now,
There we go.
hopefully, unless we have the same problem we had earlier, can you
I
now
see
see
it.
the website?
Oh yeah. Yep. I do now.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
Okay. So when you go to the website itself, this is what it looks like at the top. And you scroll down here, and you can see where Dave's his recordings are there. It is kind of like a podcast. You can go in and listen to it. These are at half-hour segments. His radio show is 1 hour long. You're Sunday morning, right, Dave? Or Sunday at noon?
Sunday noon, yeah.
Sunday noon.
Yep.
But they're an hour long each Sunday at noon. But he has them broken into the half-hour segments for you here, so you could sit and listen to what they sound like. I've had people say, "Yeah, I'm never going to sound like that," but you can hear the production that goes on, and they do a great job with the production. And you will get better and better. If you want to see some really bad radio shows, I guess you could go all the way down here to. Just kidding, Dave.
Yeah.
2019.
Stop right there. Yeah. But you're so right. You'll see this recorded. That's huge.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
recorded. You make a mistake, let's do it over again. You do a boo-boo, let's do it over again. I've had where I thought the whole segment was bad. I said, I'm sorry about this with my co-host. Let's do it all over again. That takes a lot of pressure off of the host, because they're not going to catch you in a mistake because you can just do it over again. So that's nice.
Yep. Somebody asked me where the e-apps are. I don't know if you've been to our website and just had trouble finding it. So you can see our website there. The e-app solutions are right there. And there's that Firelight registration. And our website, as you can see, and I chatted that as well, is iamsinc.com, Insurance Agency Marketing Services Inc.com, IAMS Inc. And just go to e-app solutions, that Firelight registration. So what happens there is you're registering for Firelight on our website, and then that gives you access to all the carriers that are on Firelight, all at the one single location. So it really is a handy way to do your apps on a e-app basis. I'm going to close both of those out. Let me just check, Dave. Do you have any other thing that you want to add? And I'm going to check and see if there are any additional questions here.
No, hey, just thank you everybody for being, on the webinar with us. We also have some quick hitters called Sales Focus 2020 or 2020 Sales Focus. But the goal here is to help your production. And you help the production by getting in front of people and knowledge. I mean, the Social Security knowledge it's big. So if you marked yes, hopefully we will. Please take the call from Brady. I mean, he'd be calling today, and it's just there to open your eyes up a little bit of what's available to you, in Social Security claiming and with marketing that you may not have known about. So I will say my adios and give it over to you, Steve, and you can do yours, and we're out of here.
Yeah. There was an additional question, and the question was, do we record the webinars? We do, and you can access. You'll be offered the recording of this webinar via an email here, probably about an hour and a half. But you can always go to our website and then go to our. I'll back up here once, maybe. So if you go to our website, iamsinc.com again, and then you click right here, it's our YouTube channel, and that will take you to right here where all of our webinars are recorded. And so, for instance, here's one that Dave and I did some time back regarding Social Security claimants. So you can go and listen to that. If you want to re-listen to some of the things that Dave has talked about here today, specifically, there's multiple opportunities. Retirement Boss Radio is there as well. A lot of subjects, and I know that this gets a lot of views and gets a lot of plays, so I know many people are aware of it, but if you're not and you haven't been to our YouTube channel, that's a great place to relook at some of the information that you heard today. With that, I think we've answered every question. Thank you, Dave, for joining us. We've gone just we're usually about an hour. We're a little short, so that's great. We went through it fairly quickly here today. If we can help you, give us a call, 800-255-5055. Ask your sales director. If you want to chat with Dave, I would suggest that you ask for Brady Pelzer, who's one of our sales directors, and he will get you time set up with Dave post haste to have a nice conversation. And Dave, I appreciate your time today. Get out on the golf course. Enjoy yourself. Have a great Memorial Day weekend, everybody. Talk to you later.
Everybody have fun. Thank you. Bye now.